redacted a lot of the files. I went after the hearing today, and my staff had a number of specific files for me to look at, and basically every single one of them was still redacted. And I had to ask them, why are they still redacted? And they said they came to us that way. So we will have to follow up and try to get the unredacted files sent over to us.
Your colleague, Representative Jayapal, said a short time ago on X that AG Bondi had a list at that hearing today of which email she had searched when she went to view the unredacted files. Your response to this?
Yeah, listen, we knew that AG Bondi had what we called a burn book. And it seems like that she also had a lot of intel that seems to, be a violation of the separation of powers, right? We know that we as members of Congress have been granted by law that was signed into law by this president to be able to review what is going on within that branch of government. And she decided that basically she was going to be big brother on us and have a list of who all reviewed what. And for why, I don't know. But we absolutely learned of this today. And I absolutely believe that not only judiciary, but most likely oversight is going to respond.
In that hearing today, you didn't ask AG Bondi any questions. The next congressman who spoke after you gave the AG time to respond. And here's what happened next.
This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba, convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Convicted. So what we talking about? Convict some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you, but you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
AG Bondi last appeared before a congressional panel in October. Why did you not ask her any questions in your time?
Listen, I am the last Democrat on the committee. I watched her the entire day, and she wasn't answering questions. And I'm sure she didn't want to answer too many questions because, well, she doesn't want to necessarily lie to Congress, even though I'm sure that there is plenty of that to go on. In fact, Ted Lieu caught her in a lie. So, we'll see what happens maybe in future administrations. But instead, she decided that she had her own agenda. That agenda was to put out propaganda for this president. She decided that she was going to talk about the Dow, which has nothing to do with the DOJ. She decided that she was going to talk about how transparent and wonderful he is. She decided that she wanted to challenge us on crime that was taking place in our districts. And, she came into the hearing room with pictures of individuals out of Texas. But the reality is that there were actual survivors sitting behind her for crimes that currently need to be investigated, and she's not doing anything.
Early voting in the Texas primary begins next week, as you well know. You were locked in a tight race to become the Democratic nominee for the Senate. Some Democrats have expressed dismay over a bitter campaign battle between you and your opponent, Representative James Tallarico, and that it could impact the general election. Are you concerned that whoever wins could perhaps come out unnecessarily scarred?
Possibly. We're ahead. There was polling that was just released. It showed that we're 8 points ahead of Mr. Tallarico. And based upon the fact that his super PAC is currently spending more money than John Cornyn's super PAC in this primary, I think that, we know that we're ahead. So we're getting some pretty nasty things. It's quite unfortunate that, Mr. Tallarico has decided to campaign and say that he hates super PACs and things like that, but has remained quiet as we were notified that there was a mailer that came out today that darkened my skin and told flat out lies about me, and it was done by his super PAC. At the end of the day, we're going to keep running. We're going to run hard through the tape. I think that, Texans know who has the experience and who has, real plans as well as real receipt for actually getting the work done. Texans want a fighter. They don't want a folder. And we know that in 2021, when we broke quorum, Mr. Tallarico went back and gave the Republicans the quorum that they needed to pass the voter suppression bills that they decided to pass. And everyone knows that I was one of the co-leads of the quorum break, and ultimately I ended up going to the U.S. House.
Texas Democratic Congresswoman JasmineCrockett, so appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
She must win the primary. I would it would be premature of me to say congratulations to Mrs. Jasmine Crockett, but that will remain to be seen. Um, Early voting is this or next week, so I wish her all the best of luck. But here's what I want to talk about. My conclusion to what happened last night. This is what primarily happened last night. As we were online having good conversations, mainly about what could or could not, or what could or could not happen, who isn't indicted, who should need to be indicted. Um, then we're talking about possibly, the presidency and who needs to be in. I mean, we were just having just random conversations. It was all good. It was all good. Hey, Barb. And then, of course, you got people who obviously come to the um, to the live stream and start complaining. Now, I have nothing against DJ Genesis personally. Shouts out to her, but control your panel. Uh, there was. This is how Republicans work. Certain, I don't know, but the truth be told, I don't know if she's a Republican or Democrat. He was a Republican or Democrat, but I do know this: people love to pick and choose. People love to pick on the past and put it in the present as if it is current, and nothing is current but Donald Trump and his nonsense. And what I heard from Donald Trump last night was, again, nothing but delusions of grandeur. I mean, he was just all over the freaking place. And all those people in his congregation are just flat out robots. Anything that he says or in his presence, they feel the need to just they have no shame. They have no just heads down pretty much, unless it's on camera time. Just almost as camera shy. You want to come say something, and they just walk up and they say a few words and they go back to their regular seating. It was very argumentative for a few minutes, and then we just left. People are living in delusion land. I'll just say this. A lot of people who are still after all that's been put in the light, so to speak, but I wish a lot of things weren't so addictive. I mean, we've seen it's in bits and pieces of information. It's in bits and pieces from those Epstein files, but everything is being redacted, and some of it should be like the names of the women who and the men who were victims at that particular time. They should be redacted. The name should be redacted, but everything else should just be brought into the light. Who was responsible for the? It's just the wickedness, the sinister things, the sacrificing, the beheadings, the kidnapping, the human trafficking, all those things that the people should be are responsible for. It should be brought into the light. But then again, even if it was brought into the light and not everything was redacted, you still got these idiots who clearly will support him just as long as the money is right. Money ain't everything. Money is not everything. But apparently, that's what world we live in. That's just the world we live in. You don't care nothing about the truth. All you care about is when your next paycheck coming in. The economy. When is the economy going to be good? It's not going to be good under him because all he cares about is war. He wants vengeance upon America because of three things: Obama, the Nobel Peace Prize, and it's for the simple fact that he owes too much money to America. He owes too much. I have to say that he doesn't bother me as much. I'll tell you the truth. Donald Trump doesn't bother me as much anymore. You know who bothers me? You all. This world is very, very, very sick. Very sick. You got some very sick people online and offline. Well, I haven't seen much of offline individuals. Haven't seen them. Haven't seen them at all, actually. To tell you the honest truth, I have not seen them. The people online, they're terrible. They are freaking terrible. Donald Trump could take a shit and he could say and put it in your hands and say it's gold, take it to the bank and cash it in. And these people would literally do it. These people would literally cash in the shit that Donald Trump has given them. Especially with the cell phone, the tennis shoes, and the gold card that Nicki Minaj collected. And obviously, it doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean anything at all. It's just simply put, oh, you're good under Trump. Yeah, right. The things that I've seen, the things that are being put online, obviously people think that they're fake, but why would they? If they were fake, why is it translated all over the world and all over social media? Obviously, something is truthful. And it doesn't take 3 months to come out with the truth. It doesn't take all of what Pam Bondi did and her, unleashing to do, say what she said and do what she did. It doesn't take all that. It doesn't take for you to gaslight. It doesn't take for you to lie. It doesn't take all that, fam. It doesn't take the deflection either. Oh, he's a murderer. He's a murderer. He's a rapist. He probably maybe was involved in cannibalistic things. Do you know Epstein had a chef that had a restaurant, a few restaurants, multiple restaurants, as a matter of fact. Multiple restaurants, and one of the names happened to be Cannibal. Good looking, that's a nice looking name for a restaurant. If you're a non-commonsensical person. Nevertheless, people are going to think whatever they want to think. People are going to believe whatever they want to believe. It's not about clicks and views for me. It's about the truth. And the truth of the matter is, most of you people who still will follow Trump to your dying day, you are sick as hell. You are sick as fuck. It is not funny. None of this shit is funny. None of this shit is attractive. None of this shit is exciting. If it were up to me, most of you motherfuckers will be getting the electric chair. Just zzz, because you advocate for that. You advocate for the Hannibal Lecter type motherfucker. The people who would sacrifice an official lamb a human being who was sacrificed in a damn oven for a person like Epstein, who was boiling in hell right now, to carve up and to serve to his extent, to his partners. To have a house full of heads that were probably snatched off and cleaned up and put as decorators. And you obviously think that's fucking funny. It's not. There are some very sick people in this world, and in this day and age, I hope I don't knock into neither one of you sick people. Y'all are some very sick individuals, and mind you, I'm not leaving anyone out. Anyone who is connected to Epstein, I don't care if it's George Bush, I don't care if it's Barack Obama, I don't care if it's Hillary Clinton, I don't care who it is. Put them in jail, lock away the key. Michael Jackson, to me, what Michael Jackson, Prince, and Whitney Houston are the only angels that need to be not praised, but need to be glorified because of the things that they tried to do and merely got sacrificed. She needs to win that Senate seat. I'm not a Republican nor a Democrat. I am an independent. But I want to see if this woman, as powerful as she is, as motivated as she is, to see, and she's not the only one, but I want to see if this woman has the guts to do what's right, to have the guts to stand up for what is right. None of this does not matter. I want to see her in that seat. And this is the reason. And hopefully in my lifetime, we will see her in the biggest stage of all. And that's the presidency. I want to see her one day in the presidency. But for right now, the Senate will do just fine. Because at least we can see if she wins the primary and the general, man, the general is going to be more difficult. We can see a glimpse of the possibly maybe something that Texans and possibly the whole world can grasp onto. And young girls can say, I can be just as strong and just as powerful and just as proud as Jasmine Crockett. I cannot wait for this shit to happen. So in November, everybody should be going to the polls and turning this thing around. Or unless you want to endure more BS from Mr. Delusional, Mr. I can't hold my crapper until I get to the crapper type of a person. I promise you. I promise you this. If not Trump, it's going to be somebody else. But at least we know what not to do and what not to vote for. I don't know why you voted this criminal in the first place. Why would you vote for a criminal? Why would you? Well, never mind. I know why you did it. Because he probably promised you something. But I digress. He probably promised you, that $2,000, that $5,000 that it's been over, let me check, forever. He's not going to give you any money, fam. He wasn't going to give you any money. And certain conservatives, black folks, FBAs, yeah, niggas, you too. Some of you motherfuckers really are in delusional land as well. And if you think that this bum is going to give you something that he doesn't have the money for, and he won't have the money for, unless you're a Khazarian, you're not going to get anything. You are not going to get anything. There are delusional people in this chat right now. Just the delusion. But that's okay. There's a special place in hell for you. There's a special place in hell. After what millions of people have seen online, which has to be 100% true. I don't get your focus. I don't get your stance. And black people who voted for Donald Trump, you should shame yourself. There should literally be a line of people who are positive and true should stand before you and yell, shame, shame, shame for voting for a murderer, for voting for a narcissistic, voting for a rapist. How would you feel, honestly, truthfully, how would you feel if you had a 10-year-old daughter and he said to that 10-year-old daughter, I'm gonna wait for you in about 18 more years or 8 more years, and then I'm going to select you to be mine. I don't think the average black person would even entertain any of that. But you probably would, because there's going to be something in it for you. Money, fame, fortune. You have no dignity. You have no soul. And more importantly, you don't have no how does that feel to belong to somebody who clearly doesn't have your best interest? I'm no puppet. I don't belong to no one but God. And clearly this is the reason, and it does say in the Bible, and I'm paraphrasing, that God loves his children. What are you doing to your babies? Not all of you, but some. What are you doing to your babies? Are you telling them the truth? Or are you telling them some type of make-believe? And if you vote for this guy, you're gonna get in all riches and heavenly glory. That's a lie. Some people work for what they want. And there are those who are fortunate to get a fortune. But until you are fortunate enough to get a fortune, then you're just going to have to buckle up and saddle up and work that 9 to 5 like everybody else. I wish it wasn't that way, but hey. And speaking working a 9 to 5, getting a better wage, this is what this woman promised. And I believe is going to come to light. But apparently, if people want to get stuck with this $8.75, 10.75, whatever it is, the minimum wage, and it's just like, go right ahead, be my guest. I thought Obama was clearly a shining star. Obviously, I was wrong. But I was in my early 20s when I voted for him. I'm in my mid 40s. I don't necessarily have to vote for anyone nationally. I'm just hoping, and I'm looking at Jasmine. When I look at Jasmine, I hope to see something a little different. I hope to see someone better. I hope to see her do better. What I'm seeing right now, it's acceptable for now. But if she wins the primary, which I know she will, and the general election, which I know she will. Like I said, nothing is guaranteed, but and I hope in all hopes that Texans smarten up and straighten up, because there hasn't been a Democratic Senate for over 30 years or something like that? I don't know. I'm not a Texan. But in reality, I hope if she wins the general election and she gets into that seat, that we'll see something a little bit different than what we've seen of Obama. That's what I hope. But for right now, what's going on is we are in a very, very dark place. And you know you're in a very, very dark place when you have idiots online proclaiming that Donald Trump can do anything he wants just as long as we get what's ours. That's sick. This whole society, and I agree with my mans on this. This whole society is sick. Everyone is sick. Trump is sick. Biden is sick. Clinton is sick. Whoever benefit from all this horror, all this drama, all to be damned to hell. Because if it was your child, you can say whatever you want, but if it was your child and your child was missing, and if your child was carved up and sliced to pieces and sent to fucking restaurants for these white folks to consume you, consume your son, consume your daughter, that wasn't a chicken on the goddamn table. That was a human being. And you're sitting here laughing about it like it's a fucking joke. And I want to apologize publicly to Jaguar Wright. Even though I wasn't laughing. I didn't deny anything that she stated. Of all what happened to Epstein, what was going on with Epstein and all the other people that she named. Diddy too. Jay-Z too. I never liked Jay-Z. Some of the songs I liked. But him, no, I never, ever liked Jay-Z. I never liked Diddy either. If you look at them, if you ever met them, and I've never met them in person, but I've met billionaires before. I've met millionaires. There are those that are cool, and there are those who are strictly about their business. Jay-Z is strictly about his business. He's simmered down for the most part. But Diddy has always been that guy. And if he is involved, I'm talking about Jay-Z. If Jay-Z is involved in any of that other that demonic stuff, which I know he is, book him too. Nicki Minaj, throw her in the fire pit too. Anyone who comes to me with this whole we vote for listen, Trump can kiss my ass. You can stay Republican. I said this before. You can stay Republican. Stay Republican. All I care. Put somebody else in there who does not have the same wicked mentality as him. Put somebody else in there. Put I don't know, put the Pope, put the fucking, I don't know, put Kevin Nash in that motherfucker. I don't care. I do not care. Put somebody else in there. Again, I don't care about the views. I don't care about the clicks. I don't care. I don't get paid for none of this. But when you see the pictures that you see, and everybody has this delusion of grandeur, it's like, oh, these are fake. These are AI. That's not fake. It's not fake. How many times have you been on the DOJ, on the DOJ, and actually looked and read those reports? How much time have you spent looking and actually absorbing what you have read or what you have seen? And most of it is adapted, I know. But then again, you find these things online all the time. I mean, there's a reason why they erased most of those receipts. There's a reason for that. And the only thing you can say is fake. It's not real. What makes Donald Trump a racist? What makes Donald Trump this? What makes Donald Trump that? Do you know who Donald Trump is? Have you ever met him in person? Have you been to his hotels? There's a hotel here with his name up on the billboard. And he does not own that building. He hasn't owned that building for over 20 years. And he owes too much money. But his family's rich. Oh, good old Fred. I wonder if he's still alive. Nah. Don't let me get started on his grandfather. Don't let me get started on his grandmother. What type of a hold does Donald Trump have on you people? Did he guarantee you something? Are you so dick-strucken by this man that you literally you would literally want to set yourself on fire for a guy like this? I don't care who you put in there. Just put in somebody different. And we wouldn't even have this conversation. But the fact that we're having this conversation right now, and big ups to all the people with common sense. Big ups to all the other content creators who practice common sense. Who would never go for this bullshit in the first place, but there's too many followers. Too many. Too many to count. Too many. Too many. I don't think I need to go on a diatribe of who specifically, when it comes to Black people, you should already know. If you don't know, I don't know what to tell you. You've been online long enough to know who is for Trump and who is not for Trump. There shouldn't be not one black person. I don't care who you are. You shouldn't be for a person like that. I thought it was no infiltration, but you see Wheezy, you see Martin Luther King Sr., you see Nelly, you see Snoop, you see Ludacris. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that. But then again, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked at all. They got their money. They got their money. They got their fortune. They got their fame. They're not necessarily for you because they have everything. And they won't be for you. They just want you to do one thing. Get the tickets, get their merch, so they can get more of your money. They don't have a cause for anything. They don't. But I do know one thing. I do know a couple things. I'm only going to share one thing with you. 90% of your hip hop artists will never admit that they were wrong in anything, especially when it comes to politics. I don't expect anyone I don't expect anyone who's a rapper, male or female, to know anything political. I don't. It's too much. There's too much like work. And apparently it doesn't. And apparently in these days it doesn't take much to come up with a rap album. All you have to do is just mumble a couple of times, and then boom, you got yourself a hit, a one-hit wonder. I don't care for Nicki. I don't care for Cardi B. I don't care for Meg Thee Stallion. I don't care for none of those people. Again, they have their own money. They have their own fortune. They have their own fame. None of them are happy. They show you that they're happy on camera, but when the cameras are off, are they truly happy? No, they're not. I give one rapper. Well, he hasn't been a rapper in decades. I give one rapper this. Chamillionaire. Chamillionaire took that one song and got paid millions for it, and he took that money, flipped it, and now he's a damn near a billionaire. Damn near. Because he took that one song. He took that one freaking song featuring Crazy Bone, flipped it, made millions off of particular product. I think I don't think he owns Uber and Lyft. I don't know if he owns Uber and Lyft or not. But if he does, he is making money. Well, the Dow's been up and down lately. The Dow's been up and down lately with Uber and Lyft, but people are still getting Lyft rides. People are still getting Uber rides. I get Uber rides some of the times. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to Black folks and owning and controlling things, they need to take lessons from him necessarily. They need to take lessons from Chamillionaire. Definitely. We need to be owning and controlling our own shit. and stop munching off of the American government. Because right now, the American government is the one that's killing you right now. Not just in ice, but with the food. You hear what I'm saying? Not with just ice, but with the food industry. Let me ask you a question. Do you see any cows around lately? Do you see any chickens around lately? When it comes to your farms, do you see any of them? No. But there are many hamburgers chains all across this country. There are many chicken chain um, your Kentucky Fried Chickens, your Popeyes, your In-N-Out burgers, your everything, your food restaurant chains. What are you eating? Did you ever bother to ask yourself? Have you ever bothered to ask yourself every single day, what am I putting in my mouth? What am I absorbing? Hmm. Thank God for a person like Taj Tariq Bey. Thank God for a person like that. Thank God for Dr. John Henry Clark. I'm surprised that's not your idol. Dr. John Henry Clark? Not your idol? Something's wrong with y'all. But you'll quote Dr. Claude Anderson all day when it comes to you FBAs and shit. You'll quote him all day. But regardless, inside through all that, Jasmine Crockett must win. And those seats must change color. Because I don't want to hear another Pam Bundy ripping, running, deflecting. I don't want that again. I don't want to hear that shit again. I don't want to hear another Christy Knowles. I don't want to hear another Cash Patel. I don't want to hear none of them trick bags again, ever again. As I get stronger in these politics, I'm going to know what's up. And I just might put in my bid. I just might put in my bid as being a senator. Not senator. What was it? What's the lowest of the legislators? Whatever that position is, I just might put my bid in. Hell, I'm 45. I got time. All I got to do is put in my policy, raise capital. Hell, I know what to do. And just go upon neighborhood upon neighborhoods upon neighborhoods, put my name in the field and see where it goes from there. Somebody got to do it. Obviously, it's not you. Because some of you are too chicken shit to even change the outcomes of your future. And your children's future. And your children's children's future. But you'll take up a guy that's eating your future. Get it? Eating your future. So I might as well put my ring in the hat. Hell, let's see where it goes. And until then, until that time, I'm going to still make videos. I'm going to still make content. I might be a little bit busy from here on in. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to be looking into my local positions and see what position is effective for me. I don't have to worry about fraud. I don't have to worry about being sold to the highest bidder because I know who I am. I can stay as low as a local city councilor. I can just stay there and just have fun with it. I don't have to go nowhere else. As long as the people believe what I want people to have their own minds. Not just to believe what I believe, but I want people to do their research. Just because I say something doesn't mean it's true. Do your research. Just because I listen to, if I say, listen to Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde, he even said it himself, just don't listen to me. Do your research. I just don't listen to Jasmine Crockett. I do my research. And if she's right, she's right. And most of the time, she is right. Most of the time, she is on the money with it. I'm gonna try my best to get her on the platform. And she's extremely busy. She's been on multiple platforms, and it's hard to get to her. It's very, very hard to get to her. But get her on the platform or not, I'm hoping of all hope she has a little bit of wiggle room, because I know she's tired. I know she's tired. I know she's stressing. Hell, we're all stressing. I stressed out last night. Well, not really. Not really, because it was a bit of a misconception. I'm just going to put it that way. We had fun. We had a good time over DJ Genesis last night. We were good until that little debacle happened. And then, I mean, I shrugged that off and was like, this is a particular person that blames the Democratic Party for everything, even though they're not in power right now. The Republican parties are. And it's like, oh, one point, and I'm sick and tired of, and by the way, I'm so sick and tired of black people saying that just one point in time, you were a Republican Party. Yeah, and we were under Jim Crow and Willie Lynch. Thank you, but no thank you. Frederick Belly, aka Frederick Douglass, was a Republican. Yeah, and he got limited amount of options. They didn't put him at the head of the table. They were still calling him a nigger. So what's your point? He married a white woman after being married for 54 years to his first wife. His first wife was African. He was old and was senile and got with a white woman later on in his life. So what's your point? You could start with schools, school brand positions, and county government. Each time you say the word government, my teeth clenches. Like, do I have to deal with government? And I know there are branches of government. I know there are different types of branches of government. So I will make my decision this week or this weekend, and then see what my choices are. I'm gonna definitely have to see what my choices are for running, because apparently somebody's got to do it. And I'm gonna get with Susie Lee, one of my localists, and hopefully she can give me some advice on running, either local or statewide. And let's see. I'm not making any guarantees, but I'm gonna go on from there because obviously there's some people here that just need help. That just need, I mean, like literally like help. Not the type of help that these motherfuckers need online. It's just, they're just wicked and disgusting. And like I said, there's a special place in hell for them. But I'm talking about the specific help that some of these people out here need. And if I can help out any way that I can, God willing. God willing, because there's some things that need to be cleaned up. Hell, I just cleaned up my son's room. Now it's time for me to clean up my daughter's room. I mean, you could just be a poll worker. A poll worker? Really? I know what you mean. A poll worker during the election. You don't have to run for any position. But if I do that, then I might venture in that realm, if you know what I mean, just for curious sake. So we'll see what happens, Barb. But if I do decide to run, would you vote for me? Would you honestly vote for me if I did run? Would you risk your would you put your money where your mouth is and and feed my charity, whatever my charity might be? I don't know who would be in charge of that, but I would definitely need the money to run a campaign. I do know that. We don't live near each other. Hell, you can move to Vegas. You can move to Vegas and register. I mean, hey. But I need somebody in my corner. I definitely need somebody in my corner. So, like I said, I hope she wins. I hope, going back to Jasmine real fast, I hope she wins. I hope she makes it. Early voting is, I think, next week. Vote for JasmineCrockett to be not only ahead of the polls. I want her to be ahead of the damn polls. I want her to win the general and win that damn seat. And future reference, be in the Senate for a couple of years, then hit the big one, hit the jackpot, go for the president of the United States of America. And right around that time, she would be 48, 49 years old, God willing. I'll send you some money. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. We'll see. We will definitely see. But until that time, oh yeah, before I go, I almost forgot. There's a couple of people I would like to wish a happy Valentine's Day to. Get with your loved ones. Get with your your hubbies. Do the wife, the girlfriend thing. Do the husband or the boyfriend thing. Barb, Lisa, Mahogany, have a wonderful, happy Valentine's Day. Have fun, y'all.